Hi Cancer, this is Wishka the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den where we're keeping things warm and we're keeping things cozy. Today we have a reading for you for May 1st to the 7th. We have a full moon in Scorpio coming out May 5th or 6th, depending on where you're at in the world. So definitely watch out for that. Check out your favorite astrologer because there is a lunar eclipse happening around that time. So if you want to see how those energies affect yours, you can definitely go seek that out. As always, Cancer, we're just going to hop right on into it. I said my prayer beforehand, but for your benefit, if you need to take a pause, feel free to pause the video, drop into your heart space, let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. And we'll see what we have for this week. If you're Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this message could be for you. Really get a feel. You should feel, if the message is for you, you should feel it in your bones and in your intuition. Interesting, because that was on the bottom of the deck, and it's coming out first as I'm shuffling, so. Okay. For your Astro Dice, we have Jupiter, Sagittarius in the 8th house. Now, Jupiter is in a very expanding force. So something this week is expanding for you. That energy is with Sagittarius energy, it's a learning energy. Very nomadic, very exploratory. It is the house of astrology and philosophy and higher learning. So I do feel like you are expanding by learning lessons, spiritual lessons. The 8th house is our like deeper meaning of life, maybe things that are taboo, maybe perhaps things that have crossed your mind to look into. There's something here about learning spiritual lessons and expanding. So I feel like your soul's kind of having like a little bit of like an upgrade or like an up-leveling type of deal, like your vibration rather is having some type of up-leveling. You're guided this week to face a lot of your fears. With the 9 of Swords, a lot of your fears may be presented at this time. I feel like you are actually doing very well here, Cancer, with the Knight of Swords, because you're almost like slicing it away with your authentic truth. Like, the Knight of Swords, he is holding a sword when he's going out to battle. Swords is the suit of words. It is the suit of ideas and beliefs, and it's almost like you are fighting for your own authentic truth, your own beliefs, your own thoughts and opinions on a matter, and you are kind of slicing through the other fears, the other negative voices in your head right now, and you're finding your peace. The 9 of Pentacles does portray somebody walking through a garden and really just enjoying the fruits of her labor. She's worked for this, she's earned it, she's here, and it's almost like she's dazzled by the beauty around her, and she's garnering attention for not only the things that she has accumulated over time, but it's like she is a very beautiful person, and she is very abundant, and people look to her for her wisdom and her guidance. So whoever you are, I feel like you have been through a situation in which you can offer guidance to somebody else with. By wielding your truth and by slicing through your own fears, you can share that with others and help them go through their fears as well. So these cards popped out at the same time. Overall, the 9 of Pentacles is the focal point of your reading, of being at peace, walking in, like choosing, it's making the choice to walk in a peaceful manner. You can choose to engage with these fearful energies, but you are choosing not to this week. And of course, the choice is always up to you, but it seems like you might feel prompted to take the most peaceful option for you, because it's almost like you're kind of been there, done that. These fears that are coming up, I know they're not real. I've done this before. Let me do it again. This is my thoughts. This is my belief on the world, and I'm not going to let my fears distort my perception. I'm not going to let my fears inhibit my goals or damper my strengths. I'm going to let myself shine in the way that I know how, and I'm going to keep fighting. You have the 3 of Swords, the Strength card, and the Knight of Cups that all came out at the same time. And from here, perhaps you're suffering a grief, a loss, or a heartbreak with the 3 of Swords, but it is helping you not only like is strength required at this time. If this isn't a loss that you're feeling at the time coming to this video, then perhaps this isn't something that you should be nervous about coming into your life. But there is some sort of, it feels like a past loss. So this should be a situation in which that has happened already by the time of you coming to this video, that you have been feeling maybe like, perhaps like if you were like depressed or lonely, or you are feeling that sense of grief and loss, but you have this inner strength that you've cultivated through past challenges that you are summoning up from within at this time. And you are better, like you have like a better grasp on it, and you are able to kind of work your way through it. Like, it is not only is the situation making you stronger, but you are pulling on some past strength, so that if this was a situation that challenged you in the past, it's not going to be as challenging now. Knight of Cups. This could be a romance situation for some of you, because Knight of Cups does indicate like a new lover, or like looking for love of some sort. But I do feel like this is somebody who could be looking for new love, or looking for new opportunities to fill their emotional cup. So for whatever sense that whatever sense that means for you, it could be looking for a new lover, it could be looking to broaden your social circles, or if you just moved, I'm feeling that for some of you, very specific few of you, if you move to a new place and you're looking to, perhaps you are upset over the loss of moving away, but you know that this was the right time for you. Maybe you left friends or family behind, and you're like, okay, I'm in this new life now, I have to be strong, and I'm going to go out and meet new people and make new friends, or find a lover, or yada yada. But there's something here, like this energy of going forth and finding anew. So despite your challenges, you are flacking through a lot of your fears, which is, dang, you're like the fourth sign that got the Devil card. So as clarifiers, I'm pulling from the Tarot of Dragons. I do feel like there is a tendency to overthink for this cycle. Perhaps it's just like the Mercury retrograde time. I mean, we are between like I think it was a hybrid solar eclipse that just happened during our new moon, and then like there's a lunar eclipse coming up soon, like when this full moon comes up. But you have the Devil card, and as a lot of others do, and this is a situation in which perhaps you are mulling over a little too long. This does give me overthinking energy. This is just a clear shot new beginning. The Fool comes out too, and I feel like perhaps you have some old ways of thinking that no longer suit this new situation, or this new version of you. If you're in a new place, this is your new version of you. Even if you are taking on a new challenge or project and you haven't actually moved, there is an opportunity to shed your skin and become anew here. There is the Fool is about new beginnings. It's about going forth with a sense of innocence and naivete, but also optimism. So I do feel like there is hope for the future here. It's almost like you're watching all of these dragons dance in the distance, and I feel like you're seeing their success, and that could actually trap you in that Devil energy. Like, not that could trap you, it's always ourselves trapping us. But I feel like you might look at somebody else's happiness and wonder, why am I not there yet? But the thing about the Fool card is that he's not even looking at those dragons in the background. They're having fun, they're being joyous, but you know that it will come to you, because you know that you are a manifester of your own reality. You know that you can create this for yourself, Cancer. So you are actively, I do feel like you have an opportunity here to push through and recognize that, you know, you have the capability of curating those experiences. It's just going to take a little bit of time to form your circle, or to put yourself in positions where you can do that joy, like you can experience that joy in the way that you see it in others. And, you know, you need to rely on spirit too, to help, like with divine timing. Like, if you haven't been praying already, your angels and guides want to hear from you. Asking for their assistance, praying literally under the moon. So writing your intentions and manifestations under the full moon, like I believe any time's great for manifesting, but like it's so interesting because like this full moon, that those energies, if you're not into astrology, or if you've been having like an urge to look up astrological things, this is kind of your calling to do so, because your guides and your angels want to work with you on the moon. So during this full moon in Scorpio, that is a time to release our fears, because the full moon is about letting go. Scorpio does present a lot of passionate energy and intense energy. It does also, like anytime there's like a Scorpio moon in any sort, it is kind of working through your fears and letting things go, but also manifesting new passions. So whatever energy you feel called to work with this cycle, again, check out your favorite astrologer, because this might be something that calls to you in some way. or look at the charts for around that time. But the moon is about the subconscious. So you're quite literally, don't feed into your fears, because there is the fears that are coming up. Like, change is hard, and if you're entering some new beginning of any kind, or even if you are making like a fresh start somewhere, and it's not even like you are moving to a new location, it's just, it might be, but for some of you, it might even just be you are transforming into something new, or you have a new mentality and you're like, okay, I'm going to go off and like be my authentic self to the world, or my new self to the world now. And that's a new start for you, or it's like a fresh new routine or something that you're working on. Walking, I'm hearing that like it's a habit for you to feel like you lose, or like to view yourself as kind of like a loser, or feel like you're losing in the situation. And Spirit saying, like, you know, cut that habit. That's kind of the one thing that they want you to work on for this week is, you know, try to work through those negative doubts, those self-sabotaging thoughts that are coming up in your mind, and kind of turning your attention away from that and actually trying to put the beliefs out there like, yes, I can. I do have the capability of winning, just like your version of winning or your version of success. Definitely put that energy out there, because you can manifest that. Okay, but the moon does give us an opportunity, like it's an opportune time to look at our subconscious ways, our subconscious desires, the things that are coming up from within, the forces that are driving our conscious awareness. It's working with your shadow self and also seeing the unseen. So this is an intuitive time. Things can be a little murky when the moon pops up, especially around the new moon, the full moon time. But I do feel like this is not only indicating the fact that there are things to work through during this time, but especially the secondary message with that is to work under the full moon coming up on May 5th or 6th, or even if you're not watching this like around May 1st or the 7th, or you're like, oh my gosh, I missed it. Well, like wherever your timing is for you, moon magic might actually assist you in some way, or like perhaps you are a cyclical being who goes with the phases of the moon and works with astrology, and you might not realize it until you study it and go, oh, like this might actually work for me. Even if it's just sticking to a routine schedule of, oh, like I like to come up with goals during the new moon and then see what kinds of stuff to let go 2 weeks later once the full moon comes around. Even just doing like following life like that, you don't even have to go with the signs, but something about working in cycles is something else that I'm getting for you as well. We're going to pull from Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and we'll see what other messages come through for you. Okay, I heard fork in the road. I see fork in the road, and I also heard it's time to go. So for some of you, you could actually be launching into something new, like a new project. It could be a new beginning, and you're actually just sitting here wondering, when am I going to take the leap? So Spirit is like, you have choices, and I feel like if you've already started, you have choices for how this is going to manifest for you. So whatever journey you're on, at whatever point you are at in your journey, there is a crossroads where you have different roads to go on. You can go to the left, the middle, the right, and maybe like some other roads off, like, you know, maybe it's like a 5-path road, okay? I just see that there are possibilities and there's a need to make a choice. If you don't make a choice and you stand there for too long, the universe will make the choice for you, and it might not be the one that you want. So I do feel like your intuition is calling you to a certain choice, but perhaps, again, with the moon card present, it might not be as clear. It's very challenging to see. Now, anytime that something is unclear, these two cards are so funny for me, because they do have a special, I'm very close with this deck, and they have like subtle messages that I have learned, and I've worked with these cards very closely. This is always telling me the situation of what's happening, and then time for a nap always comes up whenever it's time for me to take a step back, take a break, and meditate. We do have actually a card in here that is about meditation, but if I am very unclear about something, and if I am in murky waters and I don't understand which path to take or what way to turn, time for a nap, just Spirit tells me, like, you're stressed. You need to wake up with a clear head and a fresh mind, and then we'll think about it then. Or like continue on with your life, because the answer is made apparent as you continue living your life. So usually that means I'm so wrapped up in the problem, things aren't going to get clearer just by me sorting through all the garbage and being like, okay, well, where do I sort everything? How do I move forward? Really taking a step back from all of the fray, quite literally sleeping or taking a nap. Could be very refreshing for you, because we can stress ourselves into exhaustion. We really can, especially when we're trying to make decisions. So keep that in mind. That's just something to think about. It's usually for people who feel like they're not resting enough. So if you feel like you're stressing, you're doing too much, you're not resting enough, time for a nap card is quite literally saying take a step back. Rejuvenation is extremely important in order to make whatever decisions you're trying to make this week. We also have Twilight. Surrender to the last hour when the light barely touches the flowers. So this is a card that comes up when, honestly, like, this gives me like a procrastination energy. Like, perhaps this is a choice that you're making that, like, you know, like, it's not going to come to fruition until the last minute. Or perhaps you're not seeing something until the very last minute, and that's when you make your choice. But even if there's not a choice present, Twilight typically comes up when there is a time of suffering, at least for me, and I can see that when it comes with other people too, when we have a period of strife and we are basically surrendering to the last hour. So we are holding out until that very last hour, and until we can finally see the light coming up. And the reason Spirit is saying, you know, hold on, is because there's still things being worked out. There's always divine timing at work. And any manifestations that we put out there need time to actually manifest and come back to us. So taking the time to really hang on in there, because Spirit is right there with you. They got your back. They're walking. So specifically with this group, I feel like they're walking alongside you, and it's almost like they're holding your hand. You may not feel it, but Spirit is actually walking with you, and they're very, like, Spirit is, we always have Spirit walking with us and through us, but particularly I feel like Spirit is drawing extremely close at this time, and they're forming like a protective barrier around you, and they're saying, we got you, you're protected. And just hang on a little bit longer. Just hang on. If you feel like you are particularly challenged at this time, or you're feeling like you're particularly frightened with this Nine of Swords energy, whatever these doubts or negativity coming up, just keep going. You're doing amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, because Spirit is saying, like, you know, things will get better. That's the card that's saying, like, you know, that's a promise that things will get better. I hesitate always to say, like, it's a promise, but Spirit's like, no, tell them. It is a promise that things will get better. You also have play. Among the grass and wild violets lie undisturbed little secrets to uncover. So particularly what's going to help ease some of this tension is being incredibly playful, or at least engaging in some play to some degree. So make sure that in this stressful time, or in this, whatever time this is for you, whether it is like, you know, there's all this excitement around of a new beginning. There are some fears coming up, but make sure that you are spending time to kind of dance and frolic through the fields a little bit. So whatever it is that you, Spirit is just, all they're saying is I encourage you to play, because that'll make your experience a lot more lighthearted. I'm looking at the clock. It says 16:16 right now. But really trying to dance with the wind. Even if you're someone who doesn't play in nature, find something that you love to play. Just because that makes your soul all the more gorgeous. I'm not really sure why that particularly is coming through, but that makes you more attractive. That makes abundance more attracted to you if you are kind of playing in this lighthearted energy. Also, Spirit is in better communication with us when we are in a space of play and love and gratitude. Those are like the things that are very lighthearted energy, and that's the frequency that Spirit guides and angels operate on, is that feeling of lightheartedness, that feeling of play. It's so much easier to hear their guidance through like when we experience love and joy. So engaging with those energies where you see fit in your life would be beneficial for this week. Lastly, we're going to roll the angel dice for you, see any lasting messages we get before we send you on your way. Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray, as always, 623. There's a feeling of moving up and moving on around you. Any blocks to communication and understanding are being removed. One more time, there's a feeling of moving up and moving on around you. Any blocks of communication and understanding are being removed. Okay, and that is your reading, Cancer. Thank you so much for allowing me to channel for you. Thank you to your guides and your angels and my guides and angels and spiritual energies for helping me channel that. If you like my vibe, if you think I'm cool, go ahead, like and subscribe and all of the things. Leave a comment down below if it so resonates with you, because I like to build that community. And keep an eye out for a Patreon that I'm launching very soon. And I think that's all. I love you, I love you, I love you, Cancer, and I will see you next time. Bye.